Here is Jen Psaki on, as you know, she is now an MSNBC contributor. She went from being the chief paid liar at the White House, and then she just took a job in journalism, just like that. She now works for MSNBC. And here she is saying that the Democrats, there was nothing they could have done about inflation. Just because they're in charge of everything, they couldn't have done anything. I mean, what do you want from these people?
Speaking of that environment, Jen, I mean, when you look at the economy and you look at inflation, it consistently rates as the top issue to voters. And Republicans, when you ask those folks who say that, they're consistently saying they're going to vote Republican by pretty lopsided margins. Is there anything Democrats could have done? Was there a missed opportunity here for Democrats to not face that kind of a headwind?
Look, on inflation, it's a global issue. It's happening around the world. I think there's not a lot Democrats could have done to change that reality.
Complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. I'm going to give you some stats in a moment, but just if you took Econ 101 in college, maybe not even in college, did you learn anything about basic math or checks and balances or the red and the black when you were in high school, perhaps? How about if when Joe Biden came in, he said, you know, we're going to cut taxes for everybody so that the economy can get going. You know, we've been going through this COVID thing. It's been a tough thing. We want businesses to feel like they have a little more money in their pocket so they can spend a little bit more money so that they can hopefully hire more. That gets more people out and about and shopping and doing things. And then the economy kind of chugs along, sort of like it did under that Donald Trump guy. That would have been one thing. But I don't want to just give you my crazy theories on the economy. How about we give you actual numbers on what the Democrats did to basically tank the economy and cause inflation to go up and, contrary to what Joe Biden said, not half the debt. I mean, unbelievable that he lied about that. Here's some info from Visual Capitalist. In 2021, the U.S. government spent $6.8 trillion on various expenditures and government-aided programs. So the government spent, get it again, $6.8 trillion. That's an awful lot of money, a lot of zeros there, on government programs. So they took money from you, right, from the taxpayer, and then they decided to do whatever they wanted to do with it. And often it is completely nonsensical stuff, or we're bombing somebody, or whatever it might be, or it's handouts that then keep people in poverty. You get the rest of it. So let's get a little bit more here. Statista gave us some info. In 2021, the total revenues of the U.S. government totaled around basically $4 trillion US dollars. Now, the problem is, and any of you who've ever balanced a checkbook would understand this, when you're spending money, what you want to do is spend a little bit less than you're bringing in. You bring in a certain amount, and then you go, okay, I have this amount, and I shouldn't spend more than that because then I'm not going to have money, and then I'm going to be in debt, and then I have to pay interest on it, like, say, to China. So you understand that there was an increase of the debt of $2.8 trillion in 2021 under Joe Biden and the Democrat Congress. They did not have to spend all of that money. And the things that they spent the money on actually damaged the economy, the Inflation Reduction Act. Do any of you think that by the government taking money out of your pocket and then somehow giving it back to you, that caused inflation to go down? Well, that was 2021. Let's jump over to 2022. Here's a quote from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. In the fiscal year 2022, the federal government is estimated to spend $5.8 trillion, amounting to 23.5% of the nation's gross domestic product. Of that $5.8 trillion, over $4.8 trillion is estimated to be financed by federal revenues. So they just keep taking more and more of your money. Do you get it?